Okay, so the way we found out that Kyndal was diagnosed is we went to visit my sister and her kids. They were doing, or they were living in Texas at the time. So we went out there, and she had shown a few signs of there was something going on. So I had taken her to the pediatrician. He ordered an MRI, but said we were good to go on our trip. When we flew in, her symptoms she wasn't the same person. She was looking right through my sister. She wouldn't play with her cousins, which is how I knew. And then the next morning, we were just like, no, there's something wrong. We're not gonna enjoy our trip if I don't take her in. So, took her in to the Texas Children's Hospital and let them know like what her symptoms were, and they ordered a CT scan. They instantly told us like, you're gonna go to the big hospital. She has a mass in the back of her brain and she needs to go into surgery immediately. It'll either happen tonight or first thing in the morning, depending on the doctor's availability. So that's how I found out. When they told us that there was a mass in the brain, I really didn't know what that meant. I had a lot of emotions going through me, but I wanted to remain calm for her. A lot was happening around her, getting IVs, putting her on a stretcher, and she was looking at me like, what's going on and what's happening to me? But if I would have known the extent of what was going on in that moment, I don't think I would have been able to be as calm as I was. This is gonna be a journey with her, but you gotta be strong for her. So that's what was my main focus when I just, got all the news. Well, I knew it was cancer when the surgeon came to me and he goes, really good news. He's like, I removed the entire tumor without damaging her brain. And the oncology team will be coming by to talk to you about your guys' next steps. And I go, oh, wait a minute. Oncology team, like, I know what that means. And he goes, well, I was able to remove the large tumor that has been causing all of her symptoms, but she has tumors throughout her brain and sprinkled down her spine. And she will most likely need chemo and or radiation to treat that. And I looked at him and I go, are you telling me my daughter has cancer? And he said, I can't tell you that, but the way it looks, we have to wait for the tumor to get tested, but that's what it's looking like right now. Thanks, babe. You're the best. You're the best. So that's when I realized that maybe officially he couldn't tell me what was going on, but that's how I found out that it was cancer. So when we left Texas, we had 30 treatments of radiation, proton radiation. And then we had a 4-week break. And then we went into 7 cycles of chemo. And then they did the end of treatment scans, which were on her birthday in January of 2022. And they considered her in remission at that point. So we came home and we had her scan about 2.5 months after being home. And they called and said that she had relapsed, that there were tumors back in her brain. There was nothing on her spine or in her spinal fluid, but that there were 3 more tumors that had shown up in the brain. It's hard for me to put into words what Saves Wings has done for us, because when we got home and we were trying to navigate through the new treatment and what treatment has done to Kyndal as far as her eyesight and her hearing, and receiving news that a lot of those bills won't be covered by insurance, and receiving those bills and knowing that I wouldn't be able to afford the things she needed to hear and to see. And Sabe's Wings helped us with those things at that time. And it's not only just the finances, it's the fact that I could focus on what I needed to focus, and taking the finances away as a worry, and it took that away physically, the bills, but it also it allowed me to focus on the time that I have with her. Instead of coming home from work and school exhausted and then worried about how we're gonna pay bills, I was able to take her on bike rides and enjoy our time together, which is so much more than just paying a bill. It's so hard to put into words what it's done for me and for her and for us and our family. And I'm just so thankful that Sabe's Wings has blessed us with what we've been blessed with. And I'm so thankful that I have her to make me laugh anytime that she knows that I'm upset, or just, it hits me so hard when I think about the things that you guys have done, and I'm just so thankful. And so thankful that she can bring me right back to where I need to be, is happy and joyful. So we received news from CHLA that the treatment was no longer working, and they immediately stopped treatment and wouldn't provide it any longer. They told me that they didn't have any other options for her and that we needed to look into clinical trials. We instantly got denied by 7 of them, including big hospitals like St. Jude, and there's one in Georgia that we came across, and so far we are qualifying for their clinical trial. Well, I go to support through our family, our friends. We are so blessed with our support group. Talking to people like you guys, Sabe's Wings, just the conversations that we've had on the phone. Talking to other families that are going through the same thing that we are. And just the strength that God gives us all is how we get through it. And there are so many things that I do personally just to keep myself healthy and in a good mental space, so that I can be the strong mom that I know that she needs right now. We did it. And I'm so proud of her. She's so strong. She has the best attitude. She's the most resilient, happy, joyful little girl that I've ever been around. And I honestly just feel so thankful and honored to be her mom. Cancer will not be our life, and that we will enjoy every single day. Every day is a gift. We just love living life together. We have so much fun, and I will never, ever let cancer take that away from us.
So to talk about the journey with Sabe's Wings, from start to finish, we were looking for help to our family members and friends to look for financial assistance. My mother, Annette, she came across Sabe's Wings, and then my mom told me that Sabe's Wings was granting us financial assistance. It was the first ray of hope that we had financially to give us encouragement and take us in a positive direction. And my mom spoke the world of your organization and the other Candace. And she told me that, she wanted me to connect with you guys. And I remember receiving the call from Candace Saberhagen. Stacie was I think she was in chemo treatment that day and struggling, and I was anticipating the call and immediately ran outside in the hallway of the doctor's office. And as soon as I heard Candace's voice, it was literally like the voice of an angel. She gave me this calming, soothing, overwhelmingly loving feeling that I hadn't had yet. And she made me aware that Saves Wings was going to be donating to us. And that was the first sizable donation that we had received. I just couldn't thank you guys enough for that support. There were a lot of dark moments at that time, knowing that we were running low on funds. We had already maxed out a few credit cards. And we didn't know where this was going to go. And Candace and I talked for a brief time, and I felt inspired. But after I hung up, I immediately dropped to the floor and just broke down a little bit, just because I was so thankful and blessed. And I knew that there were people out there, strangers, that were willing to help.
He just shared that he broke down. I didn't know that until just now. But I remember he came back different. And there was something different after he spoke with Candace. Like, there was hope, and it meant everything in that moment to see him, because one of the hardest things for me as a cancer patient is to see how it affects people around me. I can do this, I can go through treatment. It's hard. That's fine. But the people that I love the most that are hurting because of what happens to me is so hard. So being able to see him come back in after that conversation with Candace was so special for us in this journey that we've been on, because I knew at that moment that we were going to be okay. And I truly believe that our success and our financial ability to be able to raise money has solely been because of our amazing, sweet partnership with Saves Wings. I believe that full-heartedly.